to life and liberty. We're all created equally in America, and we're going to live here happily in America. Our founding fathers crossed the seas and built the new world colonies.
Hi, my name's Diane. You're currently watching the Just Kidding Around show. Thanks so much for joining us. Each week, we introduce our home audience to different crafts and hobbies that can be enjoyed by the entire family. We like to bring in people from our community to share their talents with us. And I am thrilled to re-invite Chelsea. Hi, Chelsea.
Hi.
It's nice having you back.
Oh, thanks.
Chelsea is a cartoonist who has been doing a cartoon series nonstop every night for 5 years?
4 years.
For 4 years.
Over 4 years without missing a single day.
Well, I know you're a busy person, and you sure know a lot of people in town. I'm finding that out. You're quite well known locally. And so before we get going, could we look in the camera and say hello to somebody?
Hey, audience.
And
how's it going?
Hi, Freddie.
Yeah.
Because we both know Freddie.
That's true. We do both know Freddie.
Hi, Mr. Feeney.
Maybe Desmond is watching. You never know. Or Kenny.
Or
both know
Kenny. Yeah.
Hey, Kenny.
They do the late night show.
Oh, yeah.
And
I've been on his show more than a couple of times.
Yeah, and hi to the students at Lydia Hawk in South Bay. So when you were on before, you taught us how to do a book.
Yeah.
And we folded the book, and we ended up making, what was it, like a 8-page book or something like that?
A little 8-page mini booklet.
That was wonderful. If you didn't watch that show, I hope you get a chance to see it if it's still on, because it was just a wonderful little trick. And today you're actually here to do cartooning, is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a little bit about how I draw.
Great. So would it be possible for you to start by showing us face? Do they have different face shapes?
Different people do have different face shapes. That's actually one of the last parts I usually do when drawing a face. I tend to start with the eyes and sort of work my way out from there. Like draw the eyes, draw the nose, draw the mouth, then draw the face shape around it. But different people do it different ways. So
Okay, then could you start by teaching us how to draw 4 different sets of eyes? Would that be okay?
Sure.
And one could be mine if you want.
Yeah. Well,
And
the
one
way
could
I
be
draw,
John's.
as you can see, I usually draw eyes that are just little dots. It's a nice little shortcut. Little dots for eyes. Sometimes I can do something a little fancier.
By the
depending on how I
way,
feel.
our director, Tom Dubuque, opened on this collection of work, and that is all.
Yeah.
Chelsea's not just a cartoonist. She does maps.
I do
Does
illustrations.
that make you a cartographer?
I like to think it does.
Okay.
I don't know what the exact definition of a cartographer is. I don't know if that involves compiling all sorts of information.
So could you start by teaching us how to draw faces, maybe 4 different faces?
You want 4 different faces? So I'm going to start
nice and large
by
so our
drawing
camera can get that.
some nice frames for the faces. And I've got this wonderful brush pen that I do so dearly love. It makes great big strokes. I'm about to go off the edge of the table here. And a lot of artists, when they draw, especially when they're drawing large, they like to sort of work from the shoulder instead of from the wrist. And that prevents you from getting things like carpal tunnel syndrome, which I'm sure that if...
Work from the shoulder instead of the
work
wrist.
From, draw from the shoulder instead of doing little bitty things like that. Yeah, it's a trick that's particularly used by a lot of animators, because in animation you're drawing so many images. Some animators will sit and just draw for like 12 hours a day, and if they're doing this, their fingers are going to get really tired.
So animation's still done by hand?
Some people do it by hand, yeah. I have a few friends who are animators, and they still do stuff by hand. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was all done digitally.
Yeah, when I was going to Evergreen, I actually did a 5-minute long animation that was all hand drawn. Every last little bit of it.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yep.
But that's how Walt Disney did it.
That's true, yeah. So how about I draw, I draw each face to completion just one after another instead of drawing like just the eyes first. I think that would be a little easier for me, but I'm going to start with you, so look good. And maybe I will not totally cop out and actually draw decent,
So can you
detailed
describe
eyes.
to our audience what you're doing?
I always start with the left eye, because when I was a kid, I used to, start with the right eye, and then I'd go to do the left one, and it's like I cover it up with my hand. can't, you know, and then I can't reference it for size and shape and things like that. So I'm starting with the left eye and doing sort of the eyelid. So, and your eyes are pretty blue. I'm not very used to drawing eyes this way. This is not looking so great. Oh, I feel like I've already botched it. You've got some eyelashes there. And I see that your nose kind of comes down and has like a little bit of a bulbousness at the end, which makes it fun to draw. So I'm going to draw just a little bit of that. I draw just a quick swipe of a nostril there. Your eyebrows are very faint. You don't have to hold quite so still. You can smile if you want. In fact, I find people are easier to draw if they're kind of smiling a little bit. So, nice mouth there. Sometimes I'll even kind of give you just the little points of your upper lip there. Let's see, you've got some adorable little crow's feet. I always like to draw crow's feet. And then looking kind of at the shape of your face, I can see that your chin pokes out just a little bit, not as much as mine does. And you've got kind of a nice round cheek shape. So, something a little like that. Your ear is mostly covered by your hair. Draw a little bit of the edge of your forehead there. I see your hair is kind of darker towards the ends and then lighter as you go down.
So you just look, when you're drawing a person, you just look, like you said things that I didn't even know about myself. So I don't know if the camera's quite getting that. You might need to hold it up too.
Oh, perhaps, yeah.
Yeah.
Might be helpful. And
So
I feel like I kind of botched
you
your
look
eyes
at
a
the
little
head,
bit.
at the face section by section then.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, like
And-
I said, I
but
kind of
you-
start with the eyes and I work my way out. And
Okay.
I botched the eyes on this.
But
Because, yeah, I
you
usually
notice
draw
things
dots
like
for eyes for a reason.
Chin comes out more. Like I didn't know my
Yeah,
chin
yeah.
came
Some
out
people
more.
have chins that sort of tuck under, you know, it's like if you look at a person in perfect profile, let me see myself in the camera there.
So
You know, it's like if you were to draw a line across here, you know, some people, you can touch it to their nose and to their chin and it doesn't touch their lips, like with mine. Other people have lips that are more full or a chin that's more receded, and so you end up, you know, touching from the nose to the lips and not even touching the chin, you know, just differences like that.
So-
and they can be kind of subtle, but they're definitely there.
And you started with the eyes.
Yeah, I always start with the
What
eyes.
if you
Let me
just
see if
make
I
a
can try
real
to fix
simple,
this.
maybe not a person, but just real simple?
Kind of a generic
and it'd be nice if the camera could get you drawing step by step.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
could you make it even larger here or something?
Sure. I won't try to do fancy eyes. I usually
I
when
wonder
I
if camera
draw
one
nice
can get,
photorealistic
can camera one
eyes,
get some of these pictures of what, Tom, maybe?
dealing with camera things. All right.
No? Okay.
Yeah. So maybe if I move forwards a little bit, I can see myself there in the monitor. So what do you want me to draw? Just a generic
Anything.
person?
Just teach the
Anything.
kid. I would just like a step-by-step drawing lesson.
Something
on
nice and
how
simple?
to cartoon, yeah.
Okay. One of my favorite things to draw is strawberries because I love to eat them.
What would happen if it was so large you just
It took
drew
up the entire page?
whole page?
Oh, that's one
that,
big strawberry.
So then the audience can really see what
Okay.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe it's too small.
Let me
I don't know.
Squeeze my pen to get a little more ink in it so it'll
Oh,
be nice and
I don't want
dark.
to dry it up.
Oh no, it doesn't dry up very easily. So yeah, I love strawberries, so let's start with that. So let's do a nice big strawberry stem. And I kind of gave it sort of a cylindrical shape to it. And you can just quickly do what, when I was a kid, I called salad feathers because I didn't know what else to call them. It's little green tops on the strawberries. And from there you can draw sort of a bulbous, maybe it's almost like a double strawberry. I love those. The ones that looked like they were trying to split into two separate ones. So yeah, just kind of a big bulbous shape of whatever shape you think your strawberry should be. And then one of the nice things about brush pens is that you can get a lot of different line shapes. You know, you can get lines that are really thick, lines that are really thin, or lines that are both. And for the seeds, I'm going to do kind of it's like you put your brush down and then you pick it up, you know, with kind of a sweeping motion, and you get sort of a teardrop shape, which is perfect for the little seeds on the strawberry. And it goes really fast, and it actually looks better if you go faster. So, because the lines are more smooth.
So you recommend this type of pen that's like a brush pen, you said?
It is a brush pen. So
it's not really a pen, but it's not really a brush.
Exactly. It has an ink cartridge up here that is refillable, which is kind of nice. So I can just refill it with whatever India ink I like to use. Yeah, it's like you can squeeze this cartridge to get more ink down here or less.
And it does look like a brush on the end.
Yeah, and it has a little brush tip. I don't know if we can get much of a close-up on that. I can try to give you a bit of a close-up.
No.
Not so much? Okay. But yeah, this is the Pentel Color Brush.
We can't mention names.
Oh.
I get in trouble.
Well, it's a great brush pen.
Yeah.
I love brush pens.
There's
a lot of
other
companies
that make it. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can just do just as many strawberry seeds as we see fit. And this is something that you can do with, you know, even with things as simple as just, you know, like just cheap kids markers, you know.
So this is
we've
what
got a big lumpy strawberry.
Drawing.
Delicious.
Oops, I'm not doing a very good job of holding that up, am I?
All right. There we go.
There's a strawberry.
So-
What about drawing a face that big? Could you do that?
Yes, I can.
Just a real simple,
Nice,
generic.
simple face.
So starting with the eyes,
okay.
you said. You always start with the eyes, and you always start with the
work
left
my
eye,
way
did you
out.
say? Or the
Yep,
right eye?
the left eye, so that my hand doesn't
So
cover
that your
it up.
hand doesn't cover it up.
Because I am right-handed, at least when I draw. So should I draw myself? That's always
Just draw
kinda fun.
generic,
first?
large, and talk
right.
the audience through it.
Okay, let's see. So, nice big eyes. And since I'm going to have this person sort of facing slightly to one side, I'm going to start the bridge of the nose a little bit towards the side that they're facing instead of perfectly centered. That's it's a nice little trick. Remember, as a kid, it took me a while to sort of figure that out. So yeah, I've got the nose here. Ta-da. Pretty simple
I
so
like
far.
that nose.
Yep. A lot of the noses I draw are sort of like upside down sevens that, you know, are either more rounded or more pointed or, you know, things like that. So, quick sweep for eyebrows.
An upside down 7 for a
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah, if you look at it upside down, ta-da, it's a 7.
Right.
I guess this is a slightly rounded 7, this one. But my own nose, because I've got kind of a pointy little nose, it's definitely an upside down 7. So,
Tell you, you make that pen just flow.
yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
hard drawing or
So
something.
yeah, just 2 simple lines
No,
for
I
the
can
mouth.
hold this right here if you want to just draw. I can
I
be your
don't know.
easel.
Might be
You don't
kind of
wanna
tricky. Not that way. So yeah, 2 simple lines for the mouth. I like to sometimes draw sort of the shadow of the underside of your lip. Ears I draw as either C shapes or sort of peanut shapes. So these
So
will
you
be
draw
more the
ear
C shape.
before you draw the form of the face.
Yeah, so I draw the inside of the
And
ear.
either C or a peanut.
So here's where I'm at now. So yeah, this is more the C-shaped ear. The peanut ones are, you know, again, I draw my ears sort of peanut-shaped. They sort of look like, you know, stereotypical George Bush ear, where they've got blobby little, like.
All right, if you say so. I don't
Yeah,
even
the
notice
earlobes.
ears.
The earlobes are kind of bulbous.
I have no idea what anybody's
Yeah.
ear looks like.
I totally know which of my friends have bulbous ears and you know,
Oh,
earlobes and which do
funny.
not, because I draw them so much. So yeah, and usually this is the point at which I'll draw the side of the face, is once I get the basic structure down, I get the ear in place, because that sort of gives me sort of a guideline of like, okay, I need the chin to be, you know, directly, here, let me do it this way. It's like I need the point of the chin to be directly in line with this edge of the nose and the center of the mouth, so like from this angle, there's going to be less space between the point of the chin and this cheek than there would be the point of the chin and like the edge of the jaw here where the edge of this cheek will be. So it's, because it's not perfectly symmetrical. So let's give her slightly jutted chin. So that was all just one line. And for some reason I like to kind of start right around the eye. And it always sort of curves in towards the eye, because if you sort of feel your own face, you can tell that there's a little bit of a recession there. Yeah. Sticks out, towards the point of the chin. And some people, their chins jut out the most, or their cheeks jut out the most, sort of here between the nose and the mouth. Other people who have really high cheekbones, it'll be up here. It just kind of depends on who you're drawing, what their face is shaped like. And that's something you can kind of like take a peek
You're
at.
very observant.
Yeah.
So you said you start with the eyes,
Yep.
then this is upside down 7.
Yep.
Then you did the eyebrows. Then the mouth, I like the way you did that. Just sort of 2 strokes.
And it's very simple, very basic. So, and then you can there can also be variation there because, some people have more full lips than others, so you can, do a really nice full lip. Some people even have really full top lips, and you can add another line across the top. So, there's all sorts of variation there that you can add. It
That's
just depends on
interesting, too,
who you're drawing and what they look
that you draw
like.
the shape last. See, I would have thought you draw the shape of the face first. So
And I'm sure that some people do, but this is just how I do it. So
I'm going to have to ask you how to draw Abe Lincoln sometime. Anyway, go on.
All right. So usually from here, I will either go into drawing the hair or I'll draw sort of the front of the forehead. I think I'll do the forehead yet because I haven't decided what I want.
So the face is mainly from the one ear to the eye.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, boy.
What kind of hair should we give her? Should she have bangs?
Okay, just...
I'll give her bangs like mine. So I always draw my bangs as 3 points.
So just hold it still. Don't put
Yep.
it down. So our audience can see.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
3
that
points for
should be
bangs.
simple. The kids should be able to do that. 2 dots for the eyes. That's pretty simple.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
can
like
do
to keep
2
things very
dots.
simple.
And upside down 7 for the nose. Anybody can do that.
Yeah.
And then the eyebrows.
Actually,
Then the
I have a
lips.
friend who says that if you can write the alphabet, you can draw. And he has a method of drawing that he utilizes sometimes that's entirely
local?
letters and numbers.
I'd like to have him on the show.
All right, I will talk to him.
The man who draws with letters. How cool.
Yeah. And he does stuff like, use an O for the eyes. You
Yeah.
know, the nose is an upside down 7. The mouth is a C.
How
and
cute.
he does it all sort
And
of.
then you really didn't draw
interestingly.
here. You started here for the face and then
Yeah.
ended at the eye.
Yeah, well, it's like if you're looking at somebody kind of from this angle, like from the side, you can see that their chin sort of comes and kind of meets at the ear right there.
Okay.
So, but otherwise, there's nothing, there's no solid lines there really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I like to
Interesting.
kind of keep that area empty. But yeah, I'll connect the line of the edge of the bangs to the top of the ear and then connect it to the forehead so that you get sort of the face without hair. It's almost like you went in Photoshop and just deleted the hair.
Do you ever use Photoshop?
Not too much. I use it to color things sometimes when I don't color them, by hand like I have over here. But I did bring an example of a flyer that I made pretty
This is one of
recently.
your
This is
flyers?
actually for a show that is
I don't know which
the night.
camera's on there.
It's that
So it's
one.
a flyer you did?
Yeah, that's a flyer I did for a show that is actually tonight.
A show
the-
that's tonight?
Yes.
Which show? Oh, well,
Yeah.
it depends on when this airs,
Well, it's tonight when we're filming it,
Tonight
so
when
it's
we're
already over
filming.
by the time you guys watch it. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I drew this, and then I went in with Photoshop, and I did sort of a grayscale coloration to it. So, and unfortunately, this was the handbill is the only finished version that I
This
have.
is freehand?
Yeah. Yep. I did
You
all
are
of that freehand.
talented.
So, and yeah, I just
Oh,
did
and
a
here's the
grayscale.
smaller version of the same thing.
Yeah, except that this one I used Photoshop to do a grayscale coloration on it. So, that
So
it could
how do
be
you,
printed out in black and white.
you just
but-
scan that into Photoshop or
I
something?
scan it into Photoshop and I
Okay.
use the paint bucket tool mostly to colorize it. So, and I've done that with things that weren't just grayscale.
And what's the story of these 2 pictures back? What's that about?
The comics review, for a while I was trying to do one of these little comics reviews every week, where I would read a new comic book every week, something that had just been released, and I would do a review of it in comics format,
Do you want me to
sort of
turn that
aping the
towards you?
style.
John? Oh, he got it.
He got it,
There
yes.
it is. Okay,
It's
so I'm
kinda
sorry,
washed
for
out,
every
but-
week you would do one of those?
Yeah, I was trying to do one every week. I was never too good at keeping with the weekly schedule, partly because there wasn't a comic every single week that came out that I was like really into and really
So,
wanted to review.
I don't understand that. It says Royal Comedy Lounge. Is there really a Royal Comedy Lounge?
Yeah. It's
In
here
town somewhere?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they have these weekly events?
Yeah, they have a weekly comedy night.
Oh, I didn't know. Where is this place?
It's the Royal Lounge.
I
It's
better find
downtown.
them. I better go find them at the Royal Lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I like
yeah,
that
with the-
microphone.
Oh, thank you.
All free-handed.
My,
huh?
yep.
Wow.
My dad's an audio engineer, and when I showed him the finished product from that one, all he said was, "Nice basket, kid."
Oh, nice basket.
Nice basket. Yeah, because that's what you call the cage on the microphone. He and his buddies at least always called it a basket.
Oh,
So,
that's
yep.
and that's free-handed. That wasn't done at all on.
Nope, not computerized at all. All drawn by hand.
Gosh. And what's the story about this book up here?
That's my sketchbook. That's where I put, as soon as the camera gets over there, I suppose. But that's where I draw all of the daily comics, the
So
everyday
that's
thing
the
that I do.
comics that you do
Yep.
every day.
Every single day.
Oh man, you are diligent.
Yep.
You are.
There it is. Now the viewers can see it.
You're self-controlled. That's just a piece in the middle of tape to hold it up.
Yeah.
Tape dispenser.
But yeah, that book is full of little 4-panel comics that I've drawn every single day.
Every single day.
For over 4 years now.
So your friends are in the book.
Oh yeah, tons of them, all of them.
Did I end up in the book at all? Ever?
I think you did.
Oh, good. I want to see where I am.
Yeah, we can pull it down and look at it.
Was I the grouchy person? I was a nice person.
Yeah, do you want me to finish drawing her hair?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
And does
Let's
your
give her-
dad live in town?
No, he does not. He lives in Omaha, Nebraska,
Oh,
where
that's
things
right.
are very
You're
cold and
from
boring.
Nebraska.
Yep.
Must be
you?
really cold there now.
Oh, probably. Usually I will get a call about this time of year from my parents, saying, "Guess what, Chelsea?
It's snowing."
Today it got up to 0 for the first time in
Up
2
to
weeks."
Up to 0?
Yep,
Oh my
people will,
gosh.
pull out their short sleeve
I couldn't live in a
T-shirts and all
place
sorts of
like
stuff.
that.
Yeah, neither could I.
That's why you left.
People look at me like I'm crazy when I say I moved
People
here for the
complain
weather.
about our rain, but it really never impedes anything much.
Yep. Well,
When it
neither
snows.
neither does the cold or the snow out there. So
The snow doesn't?
not
People
much.
just
not
play
much.
volleyball and baseball and everything in the snow?
People don't play volleyball in the Midwest.
It's not a Midwestern sport.
No, not when
You
it's
know what? You
gets that
make
cold.
that look so easy. It's just so easy. There was no strain.
Nope. Ta-da!
I wish that was
So,
me.
drew in her hair.
Look how pretty this person is.
Yep, I gave her very
She's so
basic,
pretty.
short, shoulder-length hair.
So just to review, you start with the eyes. From the eyes,
Yep.
the nose is a 7. The eyes are just dots. You make it look so easy. The eyebrows are just
Yeah.
wishes, wishes.
Yep, swishes.
And then that mouth is beautiful. Wow.
So that's how you draw nice, simple people. Ta-da!
Those bangs are your bangs.
Yeah, they're my bangs. They're definitely
I
my
want to
bangs.
thank you so much for joining us. My goodness,
thank
you're
you.
so interesting. That was a fast half hour.
Yep. Seems like it always
So,
is.
and the audience never saw the picture of me. I'm this beautiful,
Not too proud of that one. That
beautiful
one didn't turn out so
person
good.
in the corner. So thank you for joining us. Tune in again. We're on every Saturday and Sunday. And it's a pleasure having you, Chelsea.
Well, thank you.
And thanks so much to Tom Dubuque and John Amos, who made this a 2-man show, which is amazing because it used to
Bam.
take 5 people to do it. So thank you.
He's well
Bye.
dressed. Thank
Tune
you.
in again.
Bye.
She does. She has a prettiness.
We the people here decree we've the right to life and liberty. We're all created equally in America, and we're going to live here happily in America. so they fought a revolution, the American Revolution. Oh, we the people here decree we've the right to